Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to 365 Days of Love and Miracles with A Course in Miracles. My name is Arlene Geres, and I am so glad that you are here. Please remember to listen right until the very end, because we have a special treat for you. And if you enjoyed today's video, please click like and subscribe down below, because this helps others to find us on YouTube. Today's lesson is lesson number 329. I have already chosen what you will. Before we read today's lesson, we are meant to go back and read the section, What is Creation? So let's do that now. What is creation? Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts, in number infinite and everywhere without all limit. Only love creates, and only like itself. There was no time when all that it created was not there, nor will there be a time when anything that it created suffers any loss. Forever and forever are God's thoughts exactly as they were and as they are, unchanged through time and after time is done. God's thoughts are given all the power that their own Creator has, for He would add to love by its extension. Thus, His Son shares in creation and must therefore share in power to create. What God has willed to be forever one will still be one when time is over, and will not be changed throughout the course of time, remaining as it was before the thought of time began. Creation is the opposite of all illusions, for creation is the truth. Creation is the Holy Son of God, for in creation is His will complete in every aspect, making every part container of the whole. Its oneness is forever guaranteed inviolate, forever held within His holy will, beyond all possibility of harm, of separation, imperfection, and of any spot upon its sinlessness. We are creation. We are the sons of God. We seem to be discreet and unaware of our eternal unity with Him. Yet back of all our doubts, past all our fears, there still is certainty. For love remains with all its thoughts, its sureness being theirs. God's memory is in our holy minds, which know their oneness and their unity with their Creator. Let our function be only to let this memory return, only to let God's will be done on earth, only to be restored to sanity and to be but as God created us. Our Father calls to us. We hear His voice, and we forgive creation in the name of its Creator, holiness itself, whose holiness His own creation shares, whose holiness is still a part of us. Can you feel your own holiness, my friend? Can you accept this as being the truth of who you are as God's beautiful, beloved child? I am holy. You are holy. All of God's creations are holy. We are God's creation. Let's read lesson 329. I have already chosen what you will. Father, I thought I wandered from your will, defied it, broke its laws, and interposed a second will more powerful than yours. Yet what I am in truth is but your will, extended and extending. This am I, and this will never change. As you are one, so I am one with you. And this I chose in my creation, where my will became forever one with yours. That choice was made for all eternity. It cannot change and be in opposition to itself. Father, my will is yours, and I am safe, untroubled, and serene in endless joy, because it is your will that it be so. My friends, I don't know about you, but there was a period of time in my life where I was afraid of God. I thought that all of the things that I had ever done wrong, I took them in my mind and I stored them in this huge big bank vault with those great big huge heavy doors, and then I turned the wheel to lock all of those old memories in there. I did not want to face them, my friends. I thought that I had wandered from God's will. I thought that I had defied God's will. I thought that I had broken God's laws. And I thought that my will was more powerful than God's. All of this crazy thinking eventually came to a huge screeching halt when I had a nervous breakdown. And the only choice that I had was to either kill myself or to turn around and face God. If you're at that point in your life, my friends, if you're feeling like whatever you have done is so horrible that you are afraid to face God, I encourage you to stop what you're doing, turn around. God is not a scary God. God is not a vengeful God. God is 100% pure love. The end. That is who God is. God can heal all of those broken memories. God can heal our broken hearts. He sure has healed mine. And this is the promise. What I am is, in truth, is but your will. I am literally God's will. God willed me into being. God created me, and He created you. There is absolutely nothing that we can do, think, or imagine that would ever remove us from the will of God. This am I, and this never will change. As you are one, so I am one with you. Our problems only come when we fight against God, when we remove ourselves from God's will, when we think that we are these lonely little beings traveling around the face of the earth, completely separate from God and all other beings. This is not the truth of who we are, my friends. This is the lie of the ego. This is not the truth of who we are. This am I, and this will never change. As you are one, so I am one with you. We are all one with God. We are pure consciousness. This consciousness has been here since the beginning of time and will continue throughout all of creation. Our pure conscious mind made a decision before we even came to earth in this lifetime to be one with the will of God. Our journey here on this earth has been to uncover all of the blocks that have kept us from joining into God's will, where we come home a second time. And we recognize when we do this, that this is the truth of who we are. This is where we find perfect peace, joy, and happiness. This I chose in my creation. We chose it at the beginning of time, my friends. That choice was made for all eternity. And in God's will, I am safe, I am untroubled, I am serene, and I am in endless joy because it is God's will that I be so. Those are all the gifts of God. Endless joy. What a deal. Let's finish today's reading. Today, we will accept our union with each other and our source. We have no will apart from His, and all of us are one because His will is shared by all of us. Through it, we recognize that we are one. Through it, we find our way at last to God. Let's talk about it. Somehow or other, it's just such a relaxing feeling to accept that my will has actually never been apart from God's. I just thought it was. Remember, in the ego world is all an illusion. All of that stuff that I believe happened all those years ago, in which I was in full-on rebellion from God, that was all a dream. It never happened. We have no will apart from His. We never have. And through God's will, we recognize that we are one. Through it, we find our way at last to God. Come home, my friends. Just relax in the loving, peaceful arms of God. Our practice sessions for today. First thing in the morning, last thing at night. We are asked to read or listen to the entire lesson and then just sit in meditation for as long as we wish. For our practice sessions throughout the day, as often as we like, and particularly when we are upset for any reason, we simply stop and say the idea for today, I have already chosen what you will. There is no choice to make, my friends. We made the choice at the beginning of time. I have already chosen what you will. We allow this idea to sink deep inside our beings as we feel that we are safe, untroubled, serene, and in endless joy because it is God's will that it be so. Thanks so much for listening right until the end, my friends. If you enjoyed today's video, please share the love. Let your friends know about these videos. Invite them to start at lesson 1 and do 1 lesson a day. Are you ready for our special treat?
Reno Tolalan. Now Reno is pink. And that scary looking creature, whatever it is, let's have a look at what it says underneath. Thomas Esparza.
He has received the maximum award given by the President himself. I have already chosen what you will. Have a day of walking in God's will, my friends. I love you.